okay, it's alright, it's okay. Yeah, I ain't worried about nothing. I ain't worried about nothing at all.
Hey, this is Troy NōKA, and this is The Process. I'm with one of my good friends, best friends, Angel Haze, and we gonna just
Year to
chop it
year.
up. What's good?
D-Town. I don't even know what that means. I just be doing that shit in pictures. Like it makes sense to me.
D-Town, D-Town, D-Town.
Hope it's not no gang signs.
Well, D-Town in Texas is Dallas, so
Nah, Detroit, bro.
I respect it. Detroit. Y'all got the bars out there.
I got the bars out there. Saying no, I'm just playing. Mad niggas from Detroit got the crazy rhyme schemes. They got
Yep.
the different rhythms. They got the different like vocal registers, all sorts of shit.
Yes, yes.
We from Motown, bro. You can't help it.
Facts. The soul is there. So, hey, speaking of music, speaking of the bars, speaking of Motown, what's cracking with your music? What's going on?
Oh man, I'm in the process. No, just kidding. I'm actually about to release a lot of shit this year. It took me a minute to kind of get I won't say my shit together because it's always been together, but I think organized and forward. So I'm dropping some shit. It's gonna be a movie. You know that. You on the shit, nigga. Like
Yep.
big time shit.
Definitely movie. Yeah, for sure. What do you feel like if you had to sum the project up in a in a sentence? What would you say it's about?
A girl finds her way.
The girl finds a way.
Hmm
Amazing. What's it called?
I can't say that yet.
Okay.
I don't even know when this is gonna come out, so I
That's
can't say that.
secret. Okay, that's secret. I feel you because I didn't change my album title multiple times.
No, I mean I don't know when this is gonna come out. They ain't
Yeah.
letting me say it. My
Okay.
managers, them niggas said no. Shut your lips.
Respect.
Yo,
Nah, all good. I know I'm super excited about it because
word.
I know how you get down, and it's crazy.
Yeah, and I really got down on this shit, like on God.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, from what I heard, just in the last few years, I have to say, like the last 3 years, everything I've heard has been just like crazy. So I just be
Wait,
ready.
don't say 3 years. These niggas gonna know I've been like sitting on music for that long. You
Hey, but that's
think I'm a bum, bro?
nah,
Like, look at this bum.
that's the thing. That's the thing. A lot of people think you gotta make it and put it out, but it's best
Word.
if you actually put love and time and into the music. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah, but for me, that's the process of it all. Like, where I'm like, I have to create first and not create from a place that's like purely and intrinsically me.
yeah,
And then once I've figured out where I want to go with shit,
yeah,
I have to put it together. It's like a puzzle piece. You can't just throw out every thought you have. Everything has to be refined. I'm the type of person like I talk to you, but you already know me. Sometimes I don't talk at all. I just be chilling, like whatever it is, what it is.
yep.
So I feel like unless I have something super succinct and like really clear to say,
Mhm.
I ain't ready to say shit. And now I'm ready to say shit. My brain, I've grown up. I like the last time I released something, I was probably 23, and
Okay.
that was like 4 years ago, bro. Like I'm totally different.
Wow.
And what I have to say now versus what I was saying back then, not to say that that didn't hold any weight, but that was from that space. And like again, it's been a journey to get to this space and to get to this place where I feel like I'm uncaged.
Right.
Who knows?
Feel like what changed? What changed from in the last 4 years since you dropped your last project to make you
Ooh,
feel unleashed?
I think what changed mostly is me. Like, be just because like I've been so hyper focused on growth, and I feel like I'll say that a lot. Just because like I'm the type of person that like I'm really self aware. And I think that my gifts are something I have to give to the world. They're not just meant for me. And a lot of us we get caught in that phase of like me. What can I do to make this happen? What can I do to blah blah blah? And I was trapped there, and I didn't like the way that felt. I'm like, I was telling someone, I feel like my life and my gift, my artistry had a price on it, and I wanted to buy that shit back, and that took time.
Mm.
And that took time alone with me, and that took time alone with like again my process, like just being like, all right, I want to feel the dirt again. I
Mm.
want to know what the purpose of this shit is, and if I possibly can I want to overcome it, and I
Mm.
want to come out on the other side bigger and better and bolder, and I did, and I
Wow.
still am. Um, but that's what's changed. I just had to put a little bit more into it. You know, you forget what's yours in this shit because you're giving so much away. You got to realize that, you know, a part of this you still got to keep to you. That passion, that zest, that love, that openness. You got to like own that because people will take that from you. And like, you know, it is what it is.
Exactly. So the growth is what got you to this point.
It's immense, my friend.
Yep. So what's like? I'm curious about like what do you do to get prepared? Like when you go in the studio, do you already got like your whole song written out? Are you going in there freestyling? Are you going in there like I need to finish this for my
I
album?
think
What it needs to be? Like what's that process like far as recording for you?
I think it depends on where I am with shit.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I really like, and this is just something that's come about over the years. I don't like going to the studio without at least an idea to start with, or something recorded or something written that like I can just, you know, play off of. If I'm home in my like own personal space and studio, uh, shit, it's weird. Sometimes I don't like to, I really don't like to smoke sometimes when I'm like working because my brain just goes crazy. I'm already like a hyperactive person. So I'm like, if I'm alone, I'll start playing music. I'll freestyle a little bit, um, record them, chop them up. It's like a science experiment to me. Like I play with the colors.
Hmm.
Um, I try to like mix and match shit here and there, see what I'm doing. But I just really like to get comfortable and play around because
Hmm.
that's what my zone is. And then once I found that pocket, I exploit that bitch. And like, you know me, sometimes I OD. I've been learning not to OD, you know, like to just chill, let shit be shit.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, for the most part, that's what it's like for me in the studio.
You taking all approaches pretty much. You going over here, you going over there with it.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel
Yeah.
like you have to experiment because everything's not going to be the same. And if you stick to one, like, you know, specific way of doing things, you kind of end up getting that same result over and over and over again. Sometimes I like to play with it. I'm just now getting back into the phase of daydreaming because when I was younger and I was just making music to make it, I spent a lot of time just dreaming about what I wanted,
Mm.
where I could be, you know, not just so much where I am or what's held me down or what's held me back, blah blah blah, whatever. I want to think of the world in a whimsical way, like and like just dare myself to go somewhere different. And I think that part of making music is new to me because I'm like I'm
Oh,
going back into the love part of it. But yeah, it's a
that's
lot.
amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. Like when you could just keep it fresh for yourself. And I feel like with music, it's like in art in general, it's infinite. It's like the universe. It has to be. It's obviously from somewhere else,
For
and
sure.
we're able to just be lucky enough to experience it because it just, no matter how much you learn, it just keeps. There's just more to know. There's more to learn. There's more to experience, and it just keeps it new and it keeps you young. And it's yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's definitely I'm super grateful to do music and
Word.
yeah,
Same here. My
yeah,
pride and joy. It's my baby.
yep. Making a lot of them. So like, do you already got like ideas for like visuals and stuff like that? And how important are visuals to you? And do you think it is just to artists in general? Like, should that be like, do you put that up there with the music, or are you like, I'm just curious overall how important
Hmm.
are visuals
I
to you?
guess sometimes visuals to me are like here or there because like I've put out a lot of visuals in my career where I'm like, you know, whatever. I don't feel the same way about this shit that I did when I started or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, I think what I feel now is that the visual comes to help you explain the journey. You know what I mean? And like, you know, sometimes I tell you it can be a movie that you don't even have to star in. It's just something that gets your point across. And I
Yeah.
think fans, they really enjoy that shit. They love seeing what the artist's, you know, mind can conjure up as
Mm,
a solution for the song.
mm,
Um, but I think some albums are great without visuals. Like
mm.
the fucking I was thinking about the endless visual and it was just this nigga Frank building some stairs and
Right.
niggas but like thinking about that I don't think aside from Nikes he ever did anything more for any of the shit on Blonde or any of that shit like that, because standalone it was such a beautiful project. It
Yeah.
already had so much weight. So if you took it into another world, you might as well take that shit to the movie theaters. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
um, so I think that at certain points it depends on who the artist is.
Mm.
Uh, for me, I'd love to explore it more because I see myself as more of a creative, like visionary type, where like I've got amazing stories to tell, but I want to do it in a way that like also includes me and my
Yeah.
perspective and like whatever. So I think it'll be really fun.
Amazing. So speaking of like the journey and like the different things that ends up getting expressed, what are some things you went through and lessons you learned to get you to grow like you've grown and
I
not
think I learned that I'm here for a reason, like a real reason. I think a lot of us feel like sometimes we get really lucky, like I hit a lick, like, whoa, that shit just happened out of nowhere.
yeah.
But in my journey, just surrendering and learning that like my life is already like preordained. Like I can either step into the greatness that's hanging over me, or I could sidestep, sweep, 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 whatever. Um, but I think it's about commitment
Yeah.
and like how bad you want something.
Mm.
And I was always like really weird with my voice. Like when I was a kid, I wouldn't speak much. I still like am very, conscious and protective of it almost.
Mm.
And I realize it's because I have so many, and this is my power. This is like, this is where everything comes from. All the life and the light and the fucking just help that I have to offer the world starts here.
Mm.
And so this is mine to protect no matter what. And when I say that, I mean like protect my opinions, protect my perspective, protect the things I express, protect, the shit that I've been given.
Yep.
Uh, and in this industry, you know how difficult that is
Yeah.
because, but
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
what's gotten me, this far.
Wow. Now that's beautiful. And man, I feel like the biggest lesson like I've been just learning lately is just you gotta grab the wheel, like you gotta actually like, you know,
It's your journey, man. You're the
your
driver.
journey is and everybody unique. So you gotta actually go out there and make it happen. So I feel that like what you're saying, and everybody got something to bring to the table,
Word.
their uniqueness.
Mm-hmm.
So
Perspective.
yep.
Yeah.
Feel that. I feel that. Can't be mad at that. I I'm curious, who would you put in your top three best rappers? 'Cause
Oh, that's no fair.
I know that's not even a question I would normally ask. That's one of them unprepared questions. Like when you like, I ain't got nothing else to think about to ask, where you
I
just throw it out there.
I
But
definitely think Big L probably. Just
yo,
because he's the originator and that nigga is just so nice. Shit. Let's see. It took me a really long time to get to this place, but I really respect Biggie as a storyteller
mm,
because this nigga had us singing a whole book like without any knowledge of it. Niggas was
mm,
like, "Who the fuck is this?" Like, you know what
yeah,
I mean? Telling somebody else's story. I think that's powerful.
mm,
Um, and as much as it like is weird to admit in these times, Kanye, he shifted an
wow,
entire culture. And
yeah,
it's like it's one of those things you have to respect, even though you know the journey and the trajectory is different than you assumed it would be. But
yeah.
beautiful work,
Yeah, amazing work.
beautiful work.
I think with Kanye, people just gotta have more empathy because we all people
Definitely.
overall we need to have more empathy and like he didn't already put out there that he's bipolar, so you gotta you gotta keep that in
Word.
mind when stuff happens. I don't know a lot about being bipolar, and this obviously shows America needs to be more educated about
Yeah.
the
Like
condition.
conscious of fucking mental health. Like
Yeah,
whoop de doo. Like it would help you guys a lot. I don't know.
yeah,
But
for
yeah.
sure. I watched that show Dave with Lil Dicky and like the guy Gator in the video. Like,
Oh yeah, I remember
yeah,
that shit.
he had a bipolar moment too. And even though that's like it wasn't really expanded on like on a big level,
Hmm.
even that adds to the education about it. Like and you see
Word.
it's a little bit of like out of your control. You
That
know?
shit made me cry rapper tears. I was like, whoa, this shit's too real.
Yeah,
Not only because you just get a giant spectrum, like you have to understand that we all are here and we're existing at the same time, but
yeah,
not in a linear way. Like the human experience is not a monolith. So
yeah,
everybody has some weird red and auburn and yellow and pink
exactly.
spots in them that like could start a fire.
Exactly.
Um, but I still can appreciate the work. The work is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, same. Facts. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's really great work. And one of the biggest things I learned from that particular from his work is you
Hmm.
don't have to do one thing. I feel like a lot of people like to put people in a box, like you got to do one thing great, but in reality you can do as many things as you think you can do if
Oh
you
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
you
Kanye hit me to the fact that like you got many hats.
yeah,
I'm like, there's nothing I can't do. When I think about this industry, it's like one, like it's not an industry. Industries like you can thrive in so many ways if you're just willing to believe that you can, and
yeah,
that's one of the biggest things that like I think the journey uh that Kanye's been on has taught us that
yeah,
all you got to do is say it. And
yeah,
you've seen him say so many things and they've become his. And that's why
yeah,
I'm like every day, 400 million, nigga. Mark my
exactly.
words.
So
Yo.
what do you? I'm saying I kick it with you. You one of
Hmm.
my close friends. Like I feel like you low key are clairvoyant. Like you be like speaking stuff, and I'm just like, it's so true though. I'm like, okay, that's crazy. So
Yo.
what do you?
Don't say shit like that, Trey. People
Hey,
gonna think I be on some weird shit. It's
nah,
like, nah, I don't know, bro. Finish your question because I can't even answer it.
where do you see music going? Like, where do you see things going? Like, cause stuff is changing constantly in music. Like at all times, it's always a new thing. Like back in 2010, you had to be on a blog. Like now you
Oh,
got
yeah.
your influencer. Now,
Hmm.
so it's like, what do you feel like is more important than all of that? What's the principle that stands true in the midst of the constant change?
Good shit will always thrive, no matter what. And
Mm,
we've seen it time and time again in the midst of all this mediocre shit. Like, and not to say anybody's art is mediocre, but like, you know what the airwaves sound like? It sounds like the same thing. So,
yeah,
in the midst of all of the repetition, for a better use of word, there's always those few little sparkles that come out of nowhere and changes music for a lifetime. I think that if music was always like that, like if everybody in the fucking industry was constantly putting out gym after gym after gym,
mm,
we'd live in a utopian society, dude. Like there would
mm,
be no fucking like consumerism, there'd be nothing because everybody would be awake and aware. But like those gyms are for the people who need it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And the rest of it is to keep the world alive in the way that we know it.
You know what? English doesn't even explain
Yeah,
amazing it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the tones, the frequencies. And
everything.
yeah, if you go into all the crazy, all the different things, like if you go into chakras and all these different things, you realize like this is all frequencies. Frequencies is tones. Tones is what we making music with. So it's
Word.
yeah,
And then to even blow your mind more, all of it is energy. You're
it's
just
all
making up in your
energy.
mind. How fucking brilliant.
Exactly.
Anyway, that shit is nuts. But
Yeah,
yeah,
energy got a soundtrack, and that's what music is.
word, that's a dope way to describe it.
Yeah,
Tight.
crazy, 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 crazy. Well, yeah, what you listening to these days? Like, because every time I come through, you be playing some fly stuff like that. I personally hadn't heard before.
Yeah, because I'll be curating playlists, but I'm like one of those people who listens to nothing but music. Like I watch cartoons on mute and have music playing type thing.
Hmm.
Um, so I always need to hear something new, and I want to hear something undiscovered because it inspires me in ways I haven't discovered, which is kind of gay to say out loud, but still. Um, so like I found this band called Simpson. It's supposedly fronted by a black guy, and it's amazing. It almost sounds like some Beach Boys shit. I
Hmm.
can't find this nigga on the internet, but the song is called Summer. It's dope.
Hmm.
I've been listening to a lot of Brent Faiyaz because he's just ruthless.
Hmm.
Future because Amen. Um, let's see. I love the old shit like Delphonics, Anita Baker type shit.
I need a better.
I'm an old soul. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a real
Hey.
old soul. So it's all over the place with me. I like alternative R&B, anything that like gets me going.
Hmm. That's crazy. When you run into obstacles, what do you feel like is like your process to get through them? Like, is there anything you do or mindset that you have to make sure you push through when stuff just gets kind of blurry?
Dude, I'm very lucky that I have such balanced energy because it takes a lot to throw me off. I mean, even when I've been at my lowest, I think the most I'll do is like let that, that cry out that you need to do. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, all right, nigga, I'm me. Like, there's nothing that I haven't survived thus far in my life. So there's nothing I can't survive until the end of it.
Mm.
Um, and I
You
push
feel like
through
that.
because that's the only option you got, or you get crushed. And I ain't about to get crushed.
Right.
My wings, they
Yep.
gotta move. But I'm I'm just, like I said, really, really lucky to just have that balance. If I could bottle it up and sell it, I would.
Mm.
Yeah.
Bless. If you were starting music today, like this very day, what would you tell yourself is the most important thing that you need to know as you're starting?
Do what's true to you. Don't ever be afraid or too big to listen to the people around you
Mhm.
who've gone through the phases you want to be in.
Mm.
Every chance you get is a metamorphosis. It's an opportunity to change everything for you.
Mhm.
But I don't even mean that in the like physical realm. I mean that like just in the inner realm, like the stability of the gift. Every chance you get to stabilize that, go for it.
Mm.
Always study, always practice.
Mm.
And that's not out of fear that there's someone to replace you, but it's a gift, like keep it up. And that's pretty much it, because I feel like if anybody's doing those things, they're making something phenomenal, even if
Mm.
they haven't realized it yet.
Amazing.
Word.
Amazing. If you had to, 2020 is early in 2020, but if you had to like have one word for 2020, what would you call it?
Shocking.
Shocking. It's pretty shocking.
It's been twisty and turny and then a bitch.
Yeah, it's been crazy. But I'm very grateful for you. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. This is the process. NōKA.
Wrap
We're
this
gonna
shit,
do
wrap
it.
this
Yeah,
set.
we're gonna wrap it up.
It's like, no, just play it.
No, we gotta keep it going. So stay tuned, subscribe, and yeah, thank you for watching.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.
Flow hot like the summer I shine. Cassius Clay with the jazz. Jesus turn water to wine. Watch me turn hustling to cash. On my way to some thousands, trying to get to some millions. Buy a couple of houses, put chandeliers in my ceiling. Do this for my future children, for all my niggas that's hustling. Can't knock a nigga for dealing, trying to make something from nothing. Mama, look how your baby boy turned out. I seen people move to LA, get lost and get turned out. I hear you saying stay positive, go hard and no handouts. Don't worry, I got this, I know you praying, let it all work out. It's okay, it's alright, it's okay. Yeah, I ain't worried about nothing. I ain't worried about nothing at all. It's okay, it's alright, it's okay. I ain't worried about nothing. I ain't worried about nothing at all. It's okay, it's alright, it's okay.